traditional schools better than online schools? Yeah? Okay, so we have a wonderful topic. Yeah, you guys mostly enjoyed 2 years of online schooling, so you must be having a lot to say about your experiences. Okay, so you know the rules of this rules and regulations. We have an opening that is 1 to 2 minutes. So minimum is 1 minute and maximum is 2 minutes. Okay. So we'll start with the proposition and then goes to the opposition team, followed by speaker 1, proposition, followed by opposition. It's 3 to 5 minutes. 3 is minimum, 5 is maximum. And we have speaker 2, speaker 3, the same order. Then we have a cross-examination. You'll be given 1 minute to prepare your question. You should be asking a challenging and very, small question which is clear for your opponents. Then again, the question starts with proposition and then opposition. You'll be given 1 minute to discuss the answers in your group and then you can just present it. Followed by summary, where the opposition is going to present the summary first, which is 2 to 3 minutes, followed by proposition. All right? Okay, so we're going to start. So, proposition.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Musa Khalifa. Hi, I'm Aisha Shamsi.
My name is Sultan from 10 advanced students from Qalaa School.
Hello, my name is Azim Yunus, and I'm in 9th grade advanced stream, and my goal is to be the first human being to stream online.
Hi, my name is Nob Sultan from Madab School. I'm in grade 11 advanced, and I'm interested in public speaking and English language.
Hi, my name is Sheikha Al-Kindi from Madab School. I'm interested in AI.
Good morning, respected judges and fellow debaters. Today, in our debate, we're going to be discussing a highly income topic. Is traditional schools better than online schools? I truly believe that traditional schools are a superior option, which teaches us a structured environment, fosters social and cultural development, and deliver a more holistic education. In this debate, we will prove why traditional schools will remain irreplaceable in this digital world.
The paths of learning. In one world where you hear bells and yells, knowledge calling us to learn. In another where you put on your headphones and all information go to your mind. Wherever you are, whenever you are. Education is always in your hands. What you just heard was a poem written by my talented friend, Noor. Hello everyone, we are from Madab School in Fujairah. And we stand in favor of online education, a much more innovative, efficient, and scalable way of learning that challenges the limits of traditional classrooms. The pandemic for me wasn't just a challenge, it was more of a revelation. I experienced a new way of learning that I once thought was impossible. If I showed you a car from the 1900s and compared it to one today, you'd see a dramatic difference. Same goes for a street from the past and one for the present. Everything has evolved, except perhaps a classroom. Why are we still clinging to an outdated system, a system that has not changed in over a century? And as the great thinker George Bernard Shaw once said, no one has ever changed the world by doing what the world has told them to do. Online education is not the next big thing, it is the now big thing. It's time for education to take a step forward.
During COVID-19, we studied online, and it was not a good solution because there were many ways to cheat. Students used the internet to cheat and they copied answers from their friends. Additionally, students slept during classes, escaped to play and to watch TV. And in 2021, students were given the choice between returning to in-person schooling or continuing online learning. And before the pandemic had completely ended. And guess what? Students, according to the US Department of Education, over 90% of the students chose in-person schooling over online learning in the US. And thank you.
I actually tend to disagree with you because it has proven that there was an increase in sense of responsibility. Research focusing on Zayed University students during the COVID-19 pandemic revealed that 79%, almost 80% of participants felt a higher sense of responsibility toward their studies during online learning. Also, we have proved that 73% of US students wanted to keep taking online classes after the pandemic. So that's not a big problem because we're actually learning a lot with online education. And this is a digital era. We're Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Gen Beta. We're living in a technology-filled era, so I don't see that as a problem. But what I do see as a problem is sustainability. Students may be only 20% of the population, but sustainability is 100% of our future. Yeah, that future is shrinking rapidly. Why, you may ask? Because we're afraid of change. Think about it. The fuel wasted on daily transportations to go to school and come back. The land cleared for sprawling school infrastructures, destroying wildlife habitat. Think about the properties of animals that we're stealing from them. The light and sound pollution that disrupt ecosystems. We can see those light from space. The amount of plastics, ink, and wasted paper. Think about the trees, our planet's lungs, cut down to make books that often end up in trash, even though we're claiming we're recycling them. We talk about creating memories in school, and that's wonderful, I guess, but how wonderful is it if there's no tomorrow to share those memories in? The UAE has sustainability as one of its biggest goals, yet by clinging to traditional methods of education, we're actively working against that mission. Let's not be blind to the truth. Generations like Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, and us, Gen Z, are inheriting the consequences of today's decisions. We aren't promised tomorrow, but Mother Earth is guaranteed her place. Protect her as if tonight is your last. Thank you.
Let's look for an example. As a KG1 student, when the coronavirus started, they didn't know how to read or even write. As they came back to school, many students were failing. As we see, they're now grade 3, and we've seen none change from them. As we were when we were in traditional schools since KG1, we've seen that many of our people that are our age are gone on high places. As we are here in the debates, we're talking. For grade 3 and grade 1 and grade 2 students, they have to know all of these stuff, not by doing it online. They have to do it with in-person teaching. And also, as you said about wasting money, when they said that wasting money, UAE government have offered us schools and buses to take us to school, and they didn't let us pay any penny for it. Thank you.
Do not raise your children the way your parents raised you. They were born for a different time. Ali bin Abi Talib. So, in the past, students used to learn in traditional schools using traditional ways. But nowadays, you can see your younger siblings or kids around you. They are using online videos and online devices to learn. So that means kids in the future, they need online schooling. So, in traditional schools, students are forced to be disciplined by the teachers, admins, etc. While in online education, students are self-disciplined and develop a great interest and responsibility in learning. So I have a strong evidence here to show you. It is about the Tamkeen online classes. So, as we can see here, these meetings for the online Tamkeen classes were done last term, on term 1. So 14,000 students joined these classes late at night to study. For which subject? For Islamic, which is a subject that depends on your understanding in the class, which means, so let me continue. It was for the Islamic subject for grade 5. So these students joined these classes, which proves a point that when they were in traditional schools, they did not understand this subject, and they had to join these Tamkeen classes late at night, which were requested by their own parents at 10 p.m. So finally, let me say, online education is more flexible and accessible for any student at any time or any place.
I'm sorry, but the way our parents raised us doesn't actually determine which, like, and if the new, like, if it's a new generation, it doesn't mean that we just give up traditional schools. Traditional schools make us learn skills, like right now. What are we learning? Leadership, communication. It's all skills that we have to learn from face-to-face interactions. How are we going to do this online? Okay, so you're telling me maybe a camera. It's different when you're like talking to someone in person. It's like a different experience than talking to someone behind screens. Thank you.
Why are we going back instead of going forward? Nowadays, if you want really to learn, you can just commit to learning by using online platforms. If you're talking about communication, you can still communicate, not even in school. We have after-school activities. You can do your activity and you can meet people who have the same interest as you. Why are we going back? Try to go forward. Our opponents argue that traditional schools are better than online schools. But we have proved that online schools are better than regular schools. Online schools offer accessibility and flexibility. Accessibility, like when any time of the day, anywhere in the world, you can still do your work, wherever you are, whenever you are. And even flexibility, you can do your work any time of the day. And if we're talking about mental and health issues, in regular schools, your mental issues can be harmed because you can be bullied face to face and even can cause physical fights. But in online schools, you would never face a bully. And if you ever face a bully, you can simply block them or report them. It's an easy fix. And if we're talking about physical health issues, not carrying a backpack filled with books every single day, not having back problems when you only need one device to do all of your work. 4 days ago was the International Day of Education. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed announced that education is our priority and identity. And through technology and investing in AI, and that is for a better future for our nation. Even we started 10 years ago, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid created LMS, Technology Way. Even now in regular schools, we're still using technology. We can't go one day in school without using technology, smart boards or laptops. Finally, if sustainability is the future, then online schools are the future of the UAE.
Now, cross-examination. You have 1 minute to prepare your question. Please enter your question as challenge and read and easy to understand.
Yes, ready?
Okay. If online schools are truly the future of education, then tell us this. Can medical students perform life-saving surgeries or engineers build bridges by learning solely on the online platforms? If not, how can online prepare us for the demanding of the real world?
You have 1 minute to prepare your answer if you want to discuss your answer.
Let me tell you something. Do you actually believe that these hand-on activities are safe as they seem? So, in online schools, there are some advanced technologies like AR and VR and AI. So let me tell you about AR. AR is like an app where you take a picture of something and it turns it as a 3D object in front of you. And also, let me tell you something very important. When pilots are training to fly a plane, of course they wouldn't just go and fly an actual plane. That's not good for their safety. So of course they have something like a simulation. So it acts like the real plane, but it's much safer. So in online schooling, in online education, we have these advanced technologies that are much safer, and also they are not limited like the real hands-on activities, and they are much safer and smarter. Now, let me tell you something. Online education flexibility helps students dedicate time to both academic and their passion, creating a balanced lifestyle. How does offline education handle this balance? Do you think that, how does offline education handle this balance? Do you think offline education can help us balance between our real life and our academic progress?
So, you ask a question? Yes. So you can say that again. Answer with the question. Ask, do you want to say the question again?
Okay. Let me tell you something. Online education's flexibility helps students dedicate time to both their academics and their passion, creating a balanced lifestyle. So, how does offline education handle this balance? Do you think that traditional schools actually can help students balance between their normal life and their academic level, academic progress?
Yes.
Okay.
As you said, online school is flexible and allows students to learn in their own pace. However, this so-called flexibility often leads to poor discipline and procrastination. A study by Bill and Meredith Gates Foundation found that students in online programs are less likely to stay engaged and complete their work compared to in traditional schools. And also, as you said, the online simulations, it's simply not feasible. Traditional schools with labs and workshops and clinical training ensure that students gain the hands-on experience they need to excel their such professions. Imagine somebody who learned online does a life-saving surgery on somebody else. What would that be? Do I give them a question?
No, only one question. Okay, if you wanted to ask any question or answer, you can just include that in your summary. But make sure that it's not a new point to explain, yeah? Now you have 1 minute to prepare your summary, yeah? And we start with the opposition first and then the proposition. So you have 1 minute to discuss in your groups and prepare your summaries. Okay, shall we start the summary? Start with the opponent team. You ready?
Should we answer?
If you want to, just include that. Not necessary, but
You need to summarize your
consolidate
and
all.
if you would like to answer.
Consolidate all the points.
Let me conclude. Our opponents think traditional schools are better than online schools. However, we have proven that online schools are way better. By being more sustainable, accessible, flexible, better for your mental and physical health. At this point, I think we already got the win. I did mention 4 days ago, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, on the International Day of Education, said that education is our priority and identity. And I have proof, and he said that if it's our priority and identity, we should invest in AI, and I have proof in it. We talked about Temkeen classes. Temkeen classes are very flexible. Any time of the day, you can relearn anything you really want to learn. And online schools, you can repeat your lectures. If you ever have a fear of missing out on school because you're sick or you have an appointment or something, in online schools, we have said the problem. You can just go back and listen back to your lectures. And not one shoe fits all. Not all of us can learn in one classroom. Some people have a more difficulty of learning. I think online schools helps everyone. And if sustainability is the future, then online schools should be the future of education in the UAE.
Traditional schools are far more just than an academic learning place. We have events like National Day, and we have Arabic Week and Islamic Day. We wear the UAE International, the culture clothes, and we like to experience it with our friends. And that's what the Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan once said. The real wealth of the nation lies in the education of its people. We would like to experience it with our friends, with our families, with our teachers. in school? And also, if online schools were truly the future of education, why is that the leader of the UAE and many famous CEOs like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg they all studied in traditional schools and made their children study in traditional schools?
What about experiencing with our family, experiencing events with our families? We have so much little time with our families that it's actually causing family problems. And I'll give you an example. You said Bill Gates or something, but actually SpaceX, an online course by Elon Musk. And on a different note, let's talk about environmental impact. A study by Open University in the UK found that online education produces 85% fewer carbon emissions per student compared to traditional classroom education. How does offline education address its environmental footprint? Think about Mother Earth. You won't be here in the next 50 years, but your grandchildren will be. So think about the next generations that are going to come. Thank you.